Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
नमो
Om
भगवते
Namo Bhagavate
भगवते
Vasudevaya.
वासुदेवाय
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Narayanam Namaskritya
नारायणं
Narayanam Namaskritya
नमस्कृत्य
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
नरं
Naram
चैव
Chaiva Narottamam
नरोत्तमं
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
देवीं
Devim
सरस्वतीं
Saraswati
व्यासं
Vyasam
Tato Jayamudire
ततो
Yam
जयमुदीरये
Udhyate
Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashta
नष्टप्रायेषु
Prayesha Bhadreshu
अभद्रेषु
Yam Bhagavata Sevaya
नित्यं
Nityam
भागवत
Bhagavata
सेवया
Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
भगवति
Bhavati
उत्तमश्लोके
Uttama
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
भक्तिर्भवति
Bhaktir
नैष्ठिकी
Bhagavati Naishtaki.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter
11.
11, text 21. Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. 21. Right.
So thus far, this chapter, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwaraka. So the Lord has finally come back from Hastinapur. And as soon as he arrived in Dwaraka, he sounded his transcendental conch shell. And then it is said that just hearing that, all the inhabitants of Dwaraka, they felt as if they got back their life. So they were there, they were living, but because the Lord was not there, Lord Krishna had gone away long time. Battle of Kurukshetra, and then after that, Yudhishthir Maharaj took the reins. Then time passed, so quite some time. They felt it was too long. The Lord was not with them. And just hearing the conch shell of the Lord, they all felt as if, yes, they got back their life. So these devotees, their life and soul is the Lord. So they have such intense affection. So they feel that they have the intense mood of separation when the Lord is not there. So all the inhabitants of Dwaraka, they're all not ordinary people. They're all liberated associates of the Lord. So naturally, the Lord comes back. They all are very happy. So they are all very happy to receive him. The whole description was there about all the inhabitants receiving the Lord right from the entry. So finally, it is said, Lord entered the city. So then, now the reciprocation of the Lord, text 21. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of his friends, relatives, citizens, and all others who came to receive and welcome him. So the Lord is a perfect reciprocator of anybody who offers him anything in any way. So they're all many of them are his friends. They are his relatives. Different relationships. Every one of us have different kinds of relationships. The Lord, one of the 5 relationships: Dasya Rasa, Shanta Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa. Different ways. Every living entity has a relationship. Mamaivamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So Krishna is the whole. We are his part, and we have some definite relationship with the Lord. So accordingly, it is said, the Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head. So somebody who are his seniors or elders to the Lord, so his teachers, the Brahmanas. So like that, Krishna bow down his head, and then exchange greetings. Somebody with an equal level, Sakya Rasa, so exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, handshake, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. Shwapakebhyo. So here it is said, Krishna is even to the lowest in Shwapakebhyo. Shwapakebhyo means lowest rank of the dog eaters. So Vedic culture, the division is among different kinds of people. Chandala, or the for people eating dog, they're considered to be even the lowest among the meat eaters. So here it is said, they also came. They also, some of them, they came. They received the Lord. And here it is said, the Lord reciprocated with them accordingly. And nice purport, Prabhupada is telling. Anyway, originally every living entity is your soul. So everybody is originally a Krishna conscious living entity. So Krishna naturally has this affection for every of his part and parcel. So it is not anything new and reciprocates like this. Is reciprocating even to the Shopakebhyo. So Krishna reciprocates. Mami Partha Vepashritya Episyu Papayana Striyo Vaishya Tata Shudra Tepi Yanti Paramgati. So anybody can take up the process, and anybody can take shelter of the Lord. And whatever the background, finally can achieve the full perfection of achieving the Lord's lotus feet. So Krishna is ready. Krishna from his side is ready. So only from our side, Prabhupada is writing nicely at the end. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. So from Krishna's side is always ready. The Lord is always ready. It's a very nice statement. Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna's mercy is always there. Krishna, sometimes we feel whether Krishna is merciful, whether Krishna is not merciful, whether Krishna is not giving mercy. But nicely Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna's mercy is always there. Krishna is always merciful. There is no time, no point of time, no circumstance, no situation. Krishna is not merciful. So then, but only because it is our misuse of independence. Srila Prabhupada says, he continues, it is our misuse of independence. So mostly we are misusing our independence. Conditioned life means we have been misusing for lifetimes after lifetimes, millions and millions of births, millions and millions of years. So though Krishna's mercy is there, somehow I have been continuously misusing his mercy. I am misusing my free will, rather. Because I misuse my free will, I will not be able to utilize Krishna's mercy. I will not be able to get Krishna's mercy, though it is there, available for me. Then what to do? Then Prabhupada says, if we take the mercy, if we accept the mercy, we will become, if we properly use the free will, that independence that I have got, if I use that, then I become fortunate. Then immediately fortune is there. Immediately all fortune, all auspiciousness is there. If I don't, then misfortune. It's a nice statement. So Krishna's mercy is always there. Krishna from his side is ready for us. So from our side, we have to accept it. We have to take it. The next, Swayam cha gurubir viprai sadaraih stavirair api ashirbhir yujyamano anye vandibish chavishat puram. Then the Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas and their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord. So here Srila Prabhupada comments that the brahmanas, the invalid brahmanas, elderly people, so they were not used to banking. That was a Vedic culture. The brahmanas used to voluntarily keep themselves bankrupt. They used to keep themselves in such a way that they can depend on the Lord. So this way it is said here. But who will take care of them? So now we have so many ways what will happen after retirement. Previously, at least government service, people used to have their pension or whatever. But now such things are not there. So people have to plan after retirement, post-retirement. So house should be there, some bank balance should be there. So many things. We can say unpredictable world and so much diseases, new diseases. So people have to make health insurance. So many things have to be planned. But here it is said, previously the system was so nice. The Vedic culture was so nice. There was no need. And the culture was so made that it is said here, the elderly Brahmanas who are there, who are invalid, so they cannot do anything actively. But they used to come and offer glorification for the kings. And Srila Prabhupada nicely says, they were not flatterers of the kings. It may seem like that. Oh, they're just flattering, just for their livelihood or something they are doing. No, it's not like that. They were not professional people who took it as an occupation or business or something like that. But the kings were also highly qualified, and when they were praising them, glorifying their activities, so it was not wrong because they were qualified like that. So now suppose we have to glorify some politician, we call somebody for the function. So actually there's nothing to glorify them, because everybody in Kali Yuga, they are all conditioned souls, and mostly they are non-devotees. And being non-devotees, they have hardly anything to be glorified. So it is said, Brahma Rudra Dishya Kitayati, not Rudra. So Brahma. So Brahma to anybody. Rudra is not like that. Rudra is a devotee. But otherwise it is said, a person even like Brahma, if he is not a devotee, we don't have to give them so much value. Oh, he's such a powerful personality. He's such a rich personality. He's a billionaire, trillionaire, so many things. He's an ordinary conditioned soul by the law of karma. For a few days, few months, few years, he's having the opulence. Then after that, the law of nature will take care. Because he's not a devotee, everything will be finished. Everything will be inauspicious. So anyway, but somebody is a devotee, definitely we have to respect, and we have to honor. Anybody we have to honor, we have to respect. Even an ant is respected, but otherwise no need to give special respect. So, but the kings previously were real Rajarshis. They were worthy of respect. So here the Brahmanas, when they were coming and offering glorification, it was correct. The kings were actually like that. And the kings used to get encouraged. They used to get more enlivened and hearing the glories of themselves, glories of their parents, of their grandfathers. Like Parikshit Maharaj also was when they are ruling. And these people come, the Brahmanas come and glorify. They'll glorify the Pandavas. They'll glorify Arjuna. They'll glorify Yudhishthir Maharaj. They'll glorify the whole dynasty Bhishma. So Parikshit Maharaj will naturally get more enthused hearing the glorification of his grandfather, of his great-grandfather. They were so glorifiable. So that was the previous time. That was the previous age. So, and these Brahmanas their livelihood used to be like that. They don't have to bother about their livelihood. They don't have to have a security, have an insurance, have so many things. Nothing. So they are taken care of. So this nice social system previously prevailing. Rajamargam gate Krishne Dvarakaya Kulastriyaha Armyanyaro Vipra Tadikshanam Mahotsavaha. When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwaraka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival, Mahotsava. So Mahautsava, Mahotsava. So seeing the Lord is itself a great festival. So Srila Prabhupada takes the opportunity to explain the importance of worshipping the Lord in the temple and taking darshan of the Lord as Archa Vigraha. So the Archa Vigraha is the avatar of the Lord, is the Archa Avatara of the Lord. So it's a great mercy the Lord has given us, even though we are not able to see anything spiritual. We are totally material. We have only material vision. But Krishna has come in a way to be visible to us, to accept our service. So it's an opportunity for us. So here the purport is told, especially during the days of Julana and Janmashtami ceremonies, the ladies of India still throng up in the greatest number at the temple of the Lord, where his transcendental eternal form is worshipped. The transcendental form of the Lord installed in the temple is not different from the Lord personally. So the temples means activities, or temple means festivals. So there are so many festivals: Janmashtami, Balaram Jayanti, and Radha Ashtami, then Acharya's appearance, disappearance days, then Gaura Purnima, Nityananda Trayadashi. It's the coming now, 31st Nityananda Trayadashi. Advaita Acharya, it is also around the corner now. Advaita Acharya appearance day. So like this, temple means festivals, temple festivals. So the Lord is the Utsav Murti. They are taken out in procession, different ways, in a procession, in the chariot, or some boat festival, or some Abhishek. So all these things will go on, and it's a great Mahotsav. It's a great festival. Sri Rangam, it is said, almost Ramanujacharya is organized there. Some 325 days festival happens. Here, 365 days totally there. Srila Prabhupada also tells, he says to the disciples, I can also give you, every day you can have festival. I can give you, but whether it is possible. So presently we are not, we are in the material world, in the sense that our capacity is also material. So we don't have that capacity. Otherwise, we can have festival. In the spiritual world, every day is a festival. What we hear, Krishna entering Dwaraka, like that, in either in the Goloka or in the Vaikuntha, Lord Narayana is coming out. Every day there is a celebration. Every day there is a festival. Like this, all these arrangements are there. Everybody is welcoming. Everybody is glorifying. Everybody, so many dramatists, so many singers, so many instrument people, they're playing. So all decorations are there. All flowers being put, then scented water, so many arrangements, so all gorgeous arrangements, so much opulence, it is ordered. And then prasadam distribution, definitely, and all this is there, prasadam distribution will be there. So all this opulence is going on. But anyway, same thing here in this material world, the acharyas design it for us. So depending on the time, place, circumstance, the acharyas give the application, and they may build the temples, and the festivities are arranged for us to take advantage. So either it is possible for us to go and visit there, or we can go and stay there some days in a temple. Like we are inviting our temple, so kindly come. You can come during the festivals or any other time. You can stay and participate in the festivities. So it's a very nice way. We get to see the Lord. So we are not so fortunate in one sense, like Dwaraka residents, personally Krishna coming and every day giving them darshan, or Mathura residents, Krishna was giving them darshan, or the Vrindavan residents, they are giving them darshan. But the acharyas have made arrangement for us that even now we can take similar advantage. So the temples nearby, as such festivities are happening, so we can go, we can participate. So we can have a darshan of the Lord. We can feel ourselves purified. We can advance in our Krishna consciousness. So one nice point here, the purport Prabhupada tells in this. The ladies, therefore, finally sums up, he says, therefore the ladies or men who observe festivals in the temples of the Lord, just to have a look at the transcendental form, are 1,000 times more glorious than those who are non-believers in the transcendental form of the Lord. So today, the whole world practically is filled by non-believers. People have no faith on the transcendental deity forms in the temple. They think it is all some stone, some marble, some statue, some dolls. So many ways people have misunderstanding. So-called educated people, so-called wealthy people, so-called powerful people, so-called influential people in the society. But Srila Prabhupada gives the expert comment, such non-believers, so forget them. Just anybody, any ladies or men who observe festivals in the temples of the Lord, just to have a look at the transcendental form. So they come all the way, they participate in such festival, they are 1,000 times more glorious. 1,000 times more glorious. So somehow we are all in that way blessed by acharyas, by Srila Prabhupada, by the devotees, that we have little faith, and With the words of the Acharya, our activities or all the devotees' activities are 1,000 times more glorious, 1,000 times more glorious than those who are non-believers. Non-believers. So, what is the use? What is the use of so-called education? What is the use of so-called hard work? What is the use of so-called achievement in the society? So many things people achieve, people dream of, and they feel their life is successful. So what is successful? They didn't even get a faith about the transcendental form of the Lord. They didn't even get the faith that is the Lord himself who has come to accept our service, the Lord himself who has come to take us back home, back to God. So what is the use of all those so many years of life, of struggle in this world? So it's of no use. So Srila Prabhupada straight away says their life is useless, and anybody who has developed this faith, they're 1,000 times more glorious. And then also last point, Prabhupada is talking in the purport at the end. It appears from this verse that the inhabitants of Dwaraka were all owners of big palaces. This indicates the prosperity of the city. The ladies got up on the roofs just to have a look at the procession and the Lord. The ladies did not mix with the crowd on the street, and thus their respectability was perfectly observed. There was no artificial equality with the man. Female respectability is preserved more elegantly by keeping the women separate from the man. The sexes should not mix unrestrictedly. So this is Vedic culture. So it may not be practical at every situation, every instance to follow, but the ideal, Srila Prabhupada is giving the ideal. And as far as possible, definitely unrestricted. Srila Prabhupada is saying should not mix unrestrictedly. So he's given the general guideline to whichever degree we can follow, we can practically apply. That is better. Previously, it used to be said the ladies, the sun could not see them. Means they were totally covered. They were used to be carried in palanquin. So many ways it is said like that. That is different culture, different time, different way. So we are not living in that time or different. So much facility we don't have. So many ways. It's a completely different time, different. But still, the principle is as far as possible. So they're kept separate, and they execute devotional service. Definitely, everybody executes devotional service in their own association, in their own group, and everybody advances towards the Lord. So there is one instance I think I remember in Jagannath Puri, and the Lord was there personally. Lord Chaitanya, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a instance. Lord Chaitanya, the first time I think the Lord Chaitanya comes front of the Lord and he faints. But after that, the Lord was hardly going in front. He used to stand a long distance at the end in the Jagannath temple. We used to take darshan. Sometimes, some places, some day it is said, when the Lord came there to take darshan like that, one old woman, so an old lady, she was so eager to have the darshan of the Lord, so much crowd and all that. So it is said she just entered, and then I think she got up on the shoulder of Lord Chaitanya, and then she was taking darshan. So anyway, when so much rush is there, crowd is there, we see people are like Tirupati and all, we hear people are, because they want to take darshan of the Lord, that eagerness is there. So like that time. So Lord Chaitanya didn't mind. Lord Chaitanya felt very happy. Oh, this devotee, she's so eager to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. So the Lord didn't mind like that. Otherwise, if it's possible like that, wherever is this, that systems can be made, that can be followed, that can be followed separate. Otherwise, the most important thing is to take darshan of the Lord, to visit the temple of the Lord, to participate in the festivals, to take advantage of the facility. That is more important. So there are something which is core and something which is depends on time, circumstance, place. Nityam nirikshamananam yadapi dvarakaukasam na vitrupyanti idrisha shriyo dhamangam achyutam. So it is said, na vitrupyanti idrisha. The inhabitants of Dwaraka were regularly accustomed to look upon the reservoir of all beauty, the infallible Lord, yet they were never satiated. So Prabhupada has given us the law of satiation here. So many laws of physics books, chemistry books we heard. So many laws are there, or mathematics, there are so many laws. Like that, a law of practical life, our day-to-day life. So Prabhupada tells law of satiation is there. So there is a law of satiation for everything in the material world. So in material world, in the beginning, everything looks very nice. So I got a new house, oh, so nice. I got a new vehicle, so nice. I got a new job, I got new wife, everything. When we get new, it looks like nice, wonderful. But after some time, it is called a law of satiation. This becomes acne. It become bored. We want new. But material world, there is nothing new. It is same old thing. Puna charvicha charvanana. Like that example, it is said, taking sugar cane and we chew, we throw it away. Then again, somebody else will come and they will also chew, they will throw it away. So like that, all the material happiness is like that, chewing the chew. There is no happiness. In the beginning, it looks very, very nice. But for Krishna, it is not like that. Spiritually, it is not like that. So it is said, the inhabitants of Dwarka were used to seeing Krishna every day. Whenever Krishna used to be there, they used to see every day. But still, they were not satiated. They wanted to again see. That is the way of the Lord. The Lord is completely spiritual. Nava rasa. Say the taste, the enjoyment keeps on increasing. That is a spiritual thing. It's where any nature of a spiritual thing. Nature of spirit and nature of matter, we can say. Matter nature is dead. It becomes old. It becomes acne. Spiritual thing means it becomes fresh. Navayavvanam cha. Krishna, it is said, his form is Navayavvanam. It is ever youthful. It doesn't become old. Krishna doesn't become old. So Krishna's name, Krishna Prabhupada comments further that not only his name, not only his form is beautiful, is having no law of satiation. Anything connected to Krishna is like that. We hear about Krishna, it will always be like that. We can hear Bhagavad Gita whole life. We can keep reading Bhagavad Gita every day. We can keep reading Bhagavatam every day. This purpose of Prabhupada. Every day we can keep reading. So it can continue, it can go on and on. We can keep chanting every day, on and on. So everything, we're connected with the Lord, everything spiritual, there is no satiation. There's no satiation. Otherwise, materially, there is satiation. That is a law. So here it is said for Krishna, his body is the source of everything that be, the reservoir of all beauties beyond our experience. So reservoir means some container, some lake, some pond, or some water. Reserve, generally it is said for reservoir of water. For the Lord, it is said, is a reservoir of all beauty. Is a reservoir of everything, all beauty, all opulence, all anything, whatever we can think of. Wonderful. So Krishna is reservoir of all that. Is a unlimited reservoir, ever expanding reservoir. Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam. So no one therefore is satiated by seeing the transcendental beauty of the Lord, because there are always manifestations of newer and newer beauties. The transcendental name, form, qualities, entourage are all spiritual manifestations. And there is no satiation in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Similarly, now we cannot experience the beauty of the Lord. At least we can have an idea. We can have, as we get purified, we can appreciate the deity form of the Lord. We can have some. So deity form is also the Lord's beautiful form. So if we become qualified, we'll be able to experience that. But at least some we get a experience. But more easier experience we can experience by chanting, because the Lord is made himself available as his holy name. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the more we feel, again, we are for finding the taste, the ruchi, that means we are advancing. Because actually there is no satiation in the chanting of the holy name. We should not feel, oh, wow, today my chanting 16 rounds is finished, so I'm done. No. So which I should actually feel, oh, I should chant more. So if we can develop the taste, then actually we are advancing, because there is no satiation. If we are rightly situated, there is no satiation. Krishna's name, there is no satiation. We can keep on hearing. We can keep on chanting. We can keep on hearing. The transcendental name, form, qualities, entourage are all spiritual manifestations. And there is no satiation in chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no satiation in discussing the qualities of the Lord. And there's no limitation of the entourage of the Lord. is the source of all and is limitless. Just like a jaundiced patient, some sugarcane juice is given, he is not enjoying the taste because he's jaundiced. He's having some liver problem. He's having some disease. But if the liver disease is cured, then he can find that sugarcane juice is very, very tasty. He can keep drinking. He can keep drink more and more. Similarly, our state is like that today because we are contaminated. We are not feeling the taste in chanting Krishna's name, or in hearing about Krishna, or in doing Krishna's service. We feel tiredness, we feel moroseness. But anyway, the sadhana, let it go on as sadhana. Then when actually it becomes, we feel like this, what the residents of Dwarka are feeling. That means we are actually advancing. Shriyo nivaso yasyo raha panapatram mukam drisham bahavo lokapalanam saranganam padam dujam. The Lord's chest is the abode of goddess of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes which anchor after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting places for the administrative demigods. And his lotus feet are the refuge of pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordship. So the description of the Lord's beauty, mainly the Lord's beauty description is going on. His chest, his moon-like face, his arms, his lotus feet. So here, Srila Prabhupada says, we are in the material world seeking after the mercy of the goddess of fortune. We want her blessing to achieve something material. But here it is said, these goddesses of fortune can be seen automatically if we are attracted by the bodily features of the Lord. The impersonalists cannot observe such goddesses of fortune because of their speculative habit. And those who are artists, overtaken with beautiful creation, should better see to the beautiful face of the Lord for complete satisfaction. The face of the Lord is the embodiment of beauty. This is very nice. What they call beautiful nature is but a smile. So we all appreciate, people also appreciate. They go to some top of the mountain, some picnic, or some waterfall, or some natural scenic beauty. People plan. They have, at the end of the week, they become bored of their life in the cities. Then they want to go far away, somewhere town, somewhere villages, and then appreciate the farmhouse they want to live, some retreat. So Prabhupada is telling, what they call such beautiful nature is but a smile. So he said, it is smile. It's only a smile of the Lord. And what they call sweet songs of the birds are but specimens of the whispering voice of the Lord. So we hear some beautiful singing, cuckoos, some peacock, whatever, so many different birds. They sing melodiously, the sounds, chirping sounds. It looks, but it is said, it is all whispering voice of the Lord. And about the Hare Krishna mantra, Prabhupada says it is the beautiful flute vibration of the Lord. The flute of the Lord, it is said, attracts everyone. So this Hare Krishna mantra is an indication of the flute, of the sweetness of the sound vibrated. So there is a prayer by Srila Rupa Goswami who says, Srila Rupa Goswami, the great devotee Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, has sung a song about his lotus honey, comparing himself to the bee. So he's taking a position of a bee and he's praying, the Acharya is praying, "O my Lord Krishna, I beg to offer my prayers unto you. My mind is like the bee and it is after some honey. Kindly therefore give my bee mind a place at your lotus feet, which are the resources of all the transcendental honey. I know that even demigods like Brahma do not see the rays of the nails of your lotus feet, even though they are engaged in deep meditation for years together. Still, O infallible one, my ambition is such, for you are very merciful to your surrendered devotees. O Madhava, I also know that I have no genuine devotion for the service of your lotus feet, but because your lordship is inconceivably powerful, you can do what is impossible to be done. Your lotus feet can deride even the nectar of the heavenly kingdom, and therefore I am very much attracted to them. O Supreme Eternal, please therefore let my mind be fixed at your lotus feet, so that eternally I may be able to relish the taste of your transcendental service." The devotees are satisfied with being praised at the lotus feet of the Lord and have no ambition to see his all beautiful face or aspire for the protection of the strong arms of the Lord. They are humble by nature, and the Lord is always leaning towards such humble devotees. Some devotee I was hearing very nicely was saying, because people sometimes talk about in other paramparas, not other paramparas, we can say some kind of a deviation from the pure devotional service. Some pure devotional service deviation, people want to immediately catch the Lord, immediately experience that spiritual pleasure, the transcendental pleasure. Right now, we are not qualified. We are not in that position to relish that this one. But sometimes people talk about Siddha Pranali, getting a ready spiritual body in our original relationship with the Lord and all that. We want to immediately get that perfection, capture that perfection. So we cannot capture Krishna like that. Sevonmuke hi jivvado swayameva spuratyada. So only by our pure unalloyed devotional service, Krishna can be attracted. Krishna can be captured, not by something by force, by our mental gymnastic we can catch. But people think by some mantra I can chant, I can capture. So some mantra, some people give also such kind of mantra. They say you chant this mantra, then you have the relationship with Krishna. You get this rasa with Krishna, like this. All those deviants are there in the spiritual life. So nicely the devotee was telling, yes, there is one Siddha Pranali mantra which you can get immediately connection with Krishna. And he was quoting Trunadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Because Srila Prabhupada also tells, this is the formula. He also tells one place that I have found out the formula by which everybody or we can get perfection in life. If we can, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement, Trunadapi Sunichena, if we can develop that, Trunadapi Sunichena, feeling ourselves humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, then able to give respect to everybody and not expecting respect to oneself. So it is said, if suppose some way we are able to fix ourselves in that conception, capture that this realization, then we chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Then it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says you can chant always. And it's the same thing Srila Prabhupada says, that is the secret. Yeah, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also says, write that down and put it on in your chanting bag. We are chanting, chanting beads. We are having a chanting bag. So we have to stick that like that. He advises someplace. Not that we literally do it, but mainly it says that is the way to chant. And that is the way we achieve perfection. So that devotee was also telling, that is the actual Siddha Pranali mantra. So what people are asking, a shortcut. So this is a shortcut. So you have to we have to pay the price. This is the price we have to pay. Without paying that price, we cannot achieve spiritual perfection. Sitata patra vijane rupaskrita prasura varsher avivarshita pati pishanga vasa vanamalaya bhabo ghano yatar kodupa chapa vaidyutaihi. The further description of the beauty of the Lord. As the Lord passed along the public road of Dwarka, his head was protected from the sunshine by a white umbrella. White feathered fans moved in semicircles, and showers of flowers fell upon the road. His yellow garments and garlands of flowers made it appear as if a dark cloud were surrounded simultaneously by sun, moon, lightning, and rainbows. So Prabhupada explains that dark cloud is referring to the Lord because his complexion is said to be like the cloud, bluish black. But it is not the black what we find in this world. In the material world, black means not beautiful, dark, not. We feel that is how the material world blackness is. But it is said Krishna is actually black, bluish, but it's most beautiful. So we have no experience like that in the material world, but that is the way it is. We have to take from the spiritual authorities. So it is a dark cloud surrounded by sun, moon. Sun and moon will not be visible all the time. If sun is visible, definitely moon is invisible. Moon becomes invisible. But it is said, because moon is also very beautiful. When sun is not there, moon, full moon night, very soothing, very beautiful. So that's why it is said, what all we can imagine materially, what is beautiful, the material beautiful nature, like that. That rainbow is also very, very beautiful. Lightning also, when it comes, it's very beautiful. So that way it is said, the comparison is given here, that all were there simultaneously. When Krishna was passing through the Dwarka, the roads, the chamara was being swung. Then above the umbrella was there. So all they're all compared to different. Something is compared to sun, something cloud to the Lord Himself, the umbrella to the sun, then sun, the chamara maybe the moon, then the lightning, rainbow. So different things are compared there. So the material comparison to give as an idea about the beauty of the Lord. Lord's beauty is inconceivable. We cannot conceive it, but just to get an idea. And Srila Prabhupada also comments that anyway, Lord is inconceivable. He can adjust all these things. The adjustment is possible only when we think of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. The Lord is all powerful, and in His presence, anything impossible can be made possible by His inconceivable energy. But the situation created at the time of His passing on the roads of the Dwarka were beautiful and could not be compared to anything besides the description of the natural phenomena. Pravishtastu griham pitro parishvakta svamartribihi babande shirasa sapta devaki pramukha muda. Okay. So after Krishna entered the Dwaraka, so all the inhabitants received the Lord. They were all able to visualize the Lord. They were all able to experience the transcendental beauty of the Lord. So now the Lord first of all enters the palace of his father, Vasudeva. So Vasudeva had his own separate palace where Krishna's own mother, Devaki, and Krishna's other mothers. So Devaki herself, I think, are 7 sisters were married to Vasudeva, something like that. If anybody knows the correct number, they can correct me. So Devaki herself, our direct sisters, they married Vasudeva. And apart from that, many other queens also Vasudeva had. So previously, yes, this was allowed, and people were so qualified. So Vasudeva was so qualified. So he had 16 wives. But now, again, we are in the Kali Yuga, so it is not possible. So this is not encouraged. This is not encouraged. What is followed by Lord Ramachandra, that is what is encouraged. But otherwise, previously Vedic system was there. Men used to have many wives. It is generally said the population of women is more. The nature's way is like that. The population of men is more, and it is said every woman has to be protected. So if this has to happen, naturally they have to have many. The husband, anyway, man has to marry more wives. So that is the only way this can be adjusted. Because many men used to take up sannyas also. They used to remain brahmacharis. So that way, when the women population is more, how they will be, how everybody can be married. So only if there is a marriage, many wives. But Kali Yuga, that again, that kind of a vision is not there. That kind of a capacity is not there. So it's generally not encouraged. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada tells that Krishna offered suitable respect to all the mothers. So it was they may be stepmothers, but the stepmother and mother both they're all mothers. It is not that Krishna was differentiating. Only Devaki is my blood mother. I took birth. Then others are not my direct. So he was not doing like that. So he offered due respect to all of them as mothers. So Prabhupada gives the argument here. Anyway, our father is also one of the spiritual masters. So he says, there are so many spiritual masters. We have our Shiksha Guru, we have our Diksha Guru, we have Patapradarshak Guru. Father is also one of the spiritual masters. So there are so many spiritual masters. So sometimes we are like, spiritual master is only Prabhupada, there is no other spiritual master. Definitely, of course, as a deliverer, as a Samstapaka Acharya, Srila Prabhupada is the center. But not that there are no other.
Oh.
So his disciples are there who we take shelter. Our Guru Maharaj, we take shelter. So similarly, there are so many Shiksha Gurus, we take shelter. There are so many seniors, we take shelter. So like that it is said, even the father is one of the spiritual masters. Sometimes it is said older god brothers, they are also taken as representatives of spiritual master. So like that it is said. So in that way also, because the stepmothers, they're all wives of his father Vasudeva, they're all mothers. So Guru Patni is also considered as one of the mother. Although anybody knows this shloka, they can quote 7 kind of mothers. Anybody can unmute and they can say.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, should I?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Purport.
No, I'm just asking. The purport is told there are 7 kinds of mothers. So this is a Sanskrit verse. Somebody knows this verse, they can just say that.
The real mother, wife of the spiritual master.
Yeah. So there is a Sanskrit verse, Sanskrit shloka. If anybody remembers, they can say it.
No problem. I don't remember. Loka.
Atma Mata, Radho Mata, something like that. It starts. Atma Mata, Guru Pati.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
You can say Shashi Kumar. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Atma Mata Guru Patni Brahmani Raja Patnika Denur Datri Tata Prithvi Saptaita Matra Smrataha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So as Prabhuji said, Atma Mata, or Radho Mata. First, the real mother, then Guru Patni, the wife of the spiritual master, Brahmani, wife of a Brahmana, Rajapatnika, Rani, so the king's wife is also mother. Then Denu is a cow. Then Dartri is a nurse. So nurse. So when we were small, not only our mother was taking care, there was somebody many times who were other people who were employed or whichever way they were serving, they were helping. So the nurse. So they're also considered mother. And the earth, our motherland, we say motherland. So earth is also a mother. All of them are mothers. So Krishna, as a perfect personality, he reciprocated with his stepmothers as a mother. And it is said they also were so much. Yeah. The next verse it is. Okay, what let us. Taputram Ankamaropya Snehasnuta Payodhara Harsha Vibhalitatmana Shishishur Netra Jay Jalai. The mothers, after embracing their son, sat him on their laps. Due to pure affection, milk sprang from their breasts. They were overwhelmed with delight, and the tears from their eyes wetted the Lord. So they are not ordinary people. They are not ordinary mothers. Mother is not ordinary, but this particularly here, these mothers are extraordinary. They are Krishna's mothers, having gotten the position of being the mother of Krishna. They are not ordinary people. They are in that Vatsalya Rasa with Lord. So all the, it is said just like even in Vrindavana, it was not that, in purport here, actually, in Vrindavana, not that only Mother Yashoda got the chance of feeding Krishna or taking care of Krishna as a mother. Practically all the elderly gopis, they were mothers of Krishna. And even the cows. So we hear the pastime, the year when Brahma stole all the calves, stole all the Krishna's covered friends. Then Krishna himself expanded as all the calves, and Krishna himself expanded as all the covered boyfriends. Then when they went home, their mothers were feeding, and the cows, they were feeding the calves. So it is said that is how Krishna saw them. Krishna gave them the opportunity to serve him. So they were actually having that motherly feeling. So that rasa, that was the relationship with all of those living entities like that. When Lord Krishna was at Vrindavana, even the cows would become moistened by affection toward him. And he would draw milk from the nipples of every affectionate living being. So what to speak of the stepmothers who were already as good as his own mother. So now Krishna, after taking blessings of his father, his mother, then Krishna enters his own private palaces where his queens are. Atavishat svabhavanam sarvakamamanutamam prasadayatra patninam sahasrani cha shodasha. So here it is said, Krishna entered Svabhavanam, and how many number? Sahasrani cha shodasha, 16,000 palaces. So when we hear this, even myself as a child, when I was hearing or as a boy, we were being infected by the society around us, and even our own thinking, lifetimes of thinking. How to believe this? Somebody is marrying 16,000 wives, or somebody is having 16,000 palaces. Because we cannot see anybody like this now. So we think, so all these are some stories, some mythology, because it doesn't fit our small brain, our small understanding or intelligence. So we think how it is possible. Yes, it is impossible for us, but for Krishna, why 16,000? 16 lakh, 16 million, 16 billion, 16 trillion. Srila Prabhupada says that is also limited. Even if Krishna suppose shows 16 billion, 16 trillion, 16, whatever we can just keep telling so many, even whatever number we can say, okay, I'm finished. For Krishna, that is limited. Because Krishna is unlimited. But Krishna, just to, because we hear that story also where we hear Narad Muni went. Narad Muni wanted to see how Krishna is behaving in 16,000 palaces. He went everywhere personally, it is said. So maybe Krishna, like that, thought, if I make 16 billion, 16 million, then maybe it may not be possible for Narada to visit everywhere or for us to think. So Krishna kept limited 16,000. He kept. Otherwise, Krishna is unlimited. He can expand unlimitedly, and he can maintain. He is already maintaining unlimited living entities. He is the one person. Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetananam Ekoyo Bohunam Vijati Kama. So, and in the Krishna's family, it is said every wife got 10 children, and then those children again got 10 children. So it is said their own family, Krishna's family, was in huge number. So now we cannot imagine how Earth, it can support so much huge population. Earth can support any number of population, whatever. Even in the scientists' own language, they say the Earth, whatever our Earth is, I don't know how much they are true. Their understanding of geology, understanding of the Earth, they say Earth has something called core, and then the Earth has something called mantle, and Earth has something called crust, because they think Earth is like a ball, and the central portion is the core, and then there is a surrounding that portion called mantle, and surrounding that at the top is the crust. And it is said we are all living in the crust on the surface of the earth, and we are living, it is said they try to bore into the earth, go down deep. Hardly, I think they have bored a few kilometers, maybe 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, 30 kilometers, something like that, not more than that. The scientists, with all their equipment, with all their technology, with all their boring expertise, they have bore wells, this, that, they can go only something deep at 10 kilometers, something, that's all. That is in the crust area of the earth. Like a ball at the top. It is not even one by whatever their dimension of the earth, 1/100th, not even that. So they're not even able to enter that. And below they say there is a mantle. And they say from there, when the volcanoes come, we get all these diamonds, this, that, and that. So they're not able to enter there. And much below is the core area. And they are saying that is all filled up by nickel, by iron, because that is how they try to explain the law of gravitation and all. But actually, they have not gone there. They have no access there. So much we are limited. We are living somewhere in the corner of the world. Even the oceans, it is said, it is so vast. We already have explored anything. There are so many places, so many things there. So we are so limited. Our existence is so limited. And we try to imagine the earth is like this. Earth has capacity for so many living entities. Earth has no capacity, nothing. Earth has unlimited capacity. By the blessing of the Lord, unlimited number of living entities can live on this earth. So many living entities can earth. Krishna can make possible. It is said so much lands, what we see, Antarctica, Arctic and all cold regions, or Arabia is desert. Now people cannot live there. Naturally, they cannot live. Artificially, they are living. Naturally, if somebody wants to live there, very, very difficult. But it is said there also previously people used to live. Krishna can make such places livable. So if suppose we are religious, Krishna can make all those places livable. Naturally, people can live there. Like we are living naturally here in our place in India, wherever we are, we have rivers, we have everything nice weather. So every place can become like that. So Krishna can make anything impossible possible. So here we hear the explanation. Krishna had 16,000 palaces. 16, and Krishna, it is said, entered into each and every palace. So that is the expansion called Vaibhava expansions. So Krishna is one, but can expand unlimitedly. And it is said a yogi can maximum expand to 10 forms. There is the explanation of Purport Prabhupada tells that somebody can show, he can do some yoga siddhis, can become an expert, anima, mahima, lagima, or some siddhi, he can get ayama, niyama, asana, pranayama, he can become expert. But maximum he can expand to 10 forms, not more than that. But Krishna can expand to unlimited forms. So we can never become God. God is always God. So dog is always dog. This is the law of identity. We heard the law of satiation. That similarly, there's a law of identity. Krishna is always Lord. God is always God. Dog is always, we are like a dog. We're always dog. Dog cannot become God. God cannot become dog. So I'll run through. Patnyapatim proshya grahanupagatam vilokya sanjata manomahotsava uktasturara sahasara ashayat sakam vrate vridita lochanana. So when Krishna entered the palaces, so the further description, a lot of shlokas now, it is a description about Krishna entering the palaces of his queens. The queens of Lord Sri Krishna rejoiced in their minds to see their husband home after a long period abroad. The queens got up at once from their seats and meditations. As was socially customary, they covered their faces slyly and looked about coyly. So they are not ordinary women, all the queens of the Lord. So they are all done great austerities for thousands and millions of births, thousands and millions of years. And they got that opportunity to have the Lord as their husband. So Prabhupada is also giving here some something in the material world. According to Yagnavalkya's religious rituals, injunctions, a woman whose husband is away from home should not take part in any social functions, should not decorate her body, should not laugh, should not go to any relative's house in any circumstance. These are vow of ladies whose husbands are far away from home. At the same time, it's also enjoined that a wife should never present herself before her husband in an unclean state. She must decorate herself with ornaments and good dress and should always be present before her husband in a happy and joyless mood. So for Grihasthashram, some guidelines are there here, so they can take from here. But anyway, these ladies, they are not ordinary ladies. They are all internal energy of the Lord. They are all associates, Lord's associates. So it is said, first of all, they embraced the Lord within the heart. They were in deep meditation on the Lord. So when they saw the Lord, first of all, they embraced within the heart. Then they embraced with the eyes. Then it is said they sent their sons, because son is born as a part of the mother, son or daughter. So mostly they had sons only. I think only Rukmini Devi had a daughter also. Otherwise, it is said generally Krishna gave his wives, mostly sons, looks like. So 10 sons they had, something like that. So anyway, so it is said they sent them first to embrace Krishna. And so they embracing Krishna is as good as themselves embracing, because they're born as a part of their body. The insuperable ecstasy was so strong that the queens who were shy first embraced the Lord in the innermost recesses of their hearts. Then they embraced him visually, and then they sent their sons to embrace him, which is equal to personal embracing. But O chief amongst the Bhrigus, though they tried to restrain their feelings, they inadvertently shed tears. Although Lord Sri Krishna was constantly by their sides, as well as exclusively alone, his feet appeared to them to be newer and newer. The goddess of fortune, although by nature always restless and moving, could not quit the Lord's feet. So what woman can be detached from those feet, having once taken shelter of them? The living beings are by constitution feminine by nature. The male or enjoyer is the Lord, and all manifestations of his different potencies are feminine by nature. So Prakriti and Purusha. Krishna is the only Purusha, and all of us are Prakriti. The material energy is called Apara Prakriti, and we are called Para Prakriti. We are the marginal energy. So that way everybody is feminine. Everybody is meant for the enjoyment of the Lord. We are not enjoyers. We are the enjoyed. So in connection with the Lord, being enjoyed by the Lord, then we also enjoy. So that is the way the constitution is situated. Generally, people are engaged seeking some post under the government or the supreme enjoyer of the state. Since the Lord is the supreme enjoyer of everything in or outside the universe, it is happiness to be employed by him. Once engaged in the supreme government service of the Lord, no living being wishes to be relieved from that engagement. The highest perfection of human life is to seek some employment under the Lord's supreme service. That will make one extremely happy. One need not seek the moving goddess of fortune without the relation of the Lord. So some service for the Lord we should constantly aspire. We should constantly be engaged. That is our natural constant position. That is our happy position. That is our safe position. The Lord was pacified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth. They were puffed up with their military strength, their horses, elephants, chariots, infantry, etc. He himself was not a party in the fight. He simply created hostility between the powerful administrators and they fought amongst themselves. It was like the wind which causes friction between bamboos and sparks a fire. So the appearance of the Lord, the reason he comes to destroy the irreligious. So similarly, now also it is said, Krishna creates such hostilities. There are powerful administrators. We sometimes feel, oh, so powerful bombs they have. So how to fight with them? China, America, Russia, we so-called weapons, they have modern weapons. We feel as if, oh, what to do? So India also has to amass. India has to also keep track. India has to also invest so much military. So like that, we may start feeling. So anyway, Krishna arranges, people will fight among themselves. The so-called people who are having all these so-called weapons, they will fight amongst themselves and they will kill each other. So we don't have to worry. So Krishna is there as a Paramatma is in complete control. So what is needed at what time, the Lord will see that they fight amongst themselves. All their demonic powers will be finished. Whoever is having all these things, they'll be finished. Their weapons will be finished. Everything will be finished. So we don't have to worry. Of course, for us, it's a definitely one kind of a warning. Kali Yuga is the age of degradation, age like this for all these vices, all the bad things. So it is said, just 5,000 years have passed, and 5,000 years we are seeing so much evil, we are seeing so much adharma. So Prabhupada advises us, better try to go back to Vaikuntha, Goloka. Don't come back. Don't make a plan. Okay, this life I've started chanting Hare Krishna. This life I've done some service. This life I've read some Bhagavatam. This life, something I executed Krishna consciousness. So okay, maybe next time, anyway, chance is there. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, we will go to heavenly planets. We'll enjoy there, Apsaras, so many facilities, opulences there. Then I will come back to earth. So Kali Yuga is like this 5,000 years. Suppose I come back to Kali Yuga after 30,000 years or 50,000 years or 1 lakh years. It will be more degraded. Just in the beginning of Kali Yuga, it is so degraded. It is so bad. It is only going to become more and more worse. It is not going to become better. That is for sure. So let me take advantage. Let me try my maximum to finish my business. And it is very easy. It is not very difficult. As in the Prabhupada's Acharya's words, he keeps telling, what is difficult? It is easy. He's given us a simple process, direct process, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A simple method. We don't have to do any big gymnastics. We don't have to do so much exercises, so much yogasanas, this, that, or so much become scholar, become big pandit, become some research scholar, get some people struggle to get PhD. So PhD, they say, we don't know, 3 years, 5 years. Some fields are like, they don't get only. They don't give them only. So they're so much struggling. So we don't have to struggle anything like that. So we are having this Hare Krishna mantra. So it's a big gift, grand gift for us. So we can perfect our life. Otherwise, this is there. So such kind of administrators, such kind of irreligiosity will keep happening. And here it is said, Krishna is there. Krishna will, Krishna create, even before when he appeared, he created such kind of hostility. And everybody were arranged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna in the beginning tried, he was killing Agasura, he was killing Bakasura, he was killing Putana, then he killed Kamsa, then he killed Jarasandha, was bringing every time. big armies. So Krishna was killing. At one time, Krishna said, for the moment, it is enough. Later, at a later point of time, once and for all, I'll finish everybody. Then he arranged. Then came the final war of Mahabharata. So there, everybody were arranged together. And finally, Krishna killed everybody, all those demonic elements, and installed Yudhishthir Maharaj is a representative. So finally, his complete mission was done. Krishna's mission was already complete when Yudhishthir Maharaj became the ruler. So this keeps happening. Time and again, this keeps happening. So continuing, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency and enjoyed himself amongst competent women as if he were engaging in mundane affairs. So Krishna, Supreme Lord, when he plays his part as a child of Mother Yashoda, he plays a perfect part. When he plays the part of a friend of Arjuna, he plays the perfect part. Similarly, when he becomes the husband of all these queens, he plays the perfect part. Prabhupada says Krishna's position is like a henpecked husband. Henpecked husband means the wife is a front and the husband is following everything. Whatever the wife says, he's ready to follow. He's become the servant of the wife. So Krishna is also behaving like that. The wives used to feel like that. Oh, Krishna is always attached to us. Krishna doesn't leave us. Krishna is always in my palace only. Because the feeling, because they could not get that Krishna was present in every palace with every queen. They thought Krishna is exclusively in my palace only. It was not like that. Krishna, by his arrangement of the internal energy, Yoga Maya, he makes it so nice that every devotee feels special, and Krishna taking care of them special. So the wives of Krishna felt like that. Krishna is henpecked. Krishna is fully mad after me. So like that they felt. So no. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him giving up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. It is said about the personal beauty of the queens of Krishna, their behavior, their whatever we can say, their dealings with the Lord. It is said it is unimaginable. It is unimaginable. Unimaginable means they are not ordinary people. They are all associates of the Lord. They are all spiritual beauties of the spiritual world. So all to give pleasure to the Lord. All to give pleasure to the Lord. But still it is said Krishna was not like being taken over. It was not like that. Krishna is always a master. He's always a master. We hear that story also, the Naranarayana Rishi, when they were undertaking tapasya, Indra and other devatas, they wanted to break his vow. They thought Naranarayana are some ordinary people, but it is said Naranarayana created unlimited spiritual beauties. Then all the apsaras, all the Indra Deva, all the people, they ran away. They were like embarrassed. So what are we in front of these people like that? So like this, Krishna's queens, definitely, they are the most beautiful, most attractive. Their dealings, their behavior, their talking, their glancing, everything, whatever we can think of. But it is said Krishna was not a least bit agitated. So Krishna is always the master. Krishna is always complete, perfect master. So he reciprocates the dealings with his devotee. Every devotee wants to serve Krishna in a particular way. So Krishna just reciprocates the dealings. And they were qualified after so much austerities, completely pure. So they qualified themselves to become the wives of Krishna. Only by unalloyed transcendental loving service could they satisfy the Lord, and the Lord was pleased to treat them as wives in reciprocation. The queens could not satisfy the Lord by their feminine attractiveness. Krishna is Atmarama, is self-sufficient. They satisfied him by their sincere affection and service. That's how Krishna was satisfied with them. Thus, being satisfied by their unalloyed service only, the Lord reciprocated the service just like a devout husband. Otherwise, he had no business becoming the husband of so many wives. He is the husband of everyone. But to one who accepts him as such, he reciprocates. This unalloyed affection for the Lord is never to be compared to mundane lust. It is purely transcendental. And the grave dealings which the queens displayed in natural feminine ways were also transcendental because the feelings were expressed out of transcendental ecstasy. It is already explained in the previous verse that the Lord appeared like a mundane husband, but factually his relationship with his wives was transcendental, pure, and unconditioned by the modes of material nature. The common materialistic conditioned souls speculate that the Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that the Lord is affected by matter, although he is unattached. Etadishanam ishasya prakritistopi tadgunai na yujyate sadatmastar yata buddhistadashraya. This is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by material qualities. This is one of the arguments Prabhupada says, that whoever takes shelter of Krishna, they themselves become liberated. So how is it that Krishna is not liberated? Because with such dealings, we may feel, oh, Krishna is lusty, Krishna is affected by all this passion, mode of passion. We may feel like that. Even generally, commonly, we all felt, all of us, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we all have this feeling Krishna is whatever, Krishna's pastimes with the gopis or the queens in Dwaraka. It looks like that, but it is not. Krishna is not the least affected. Rather, it is here that it is said, the devotees of the Lord also not affected. The pure devotees of the Lord, having perfectly pure, so they are not affected. So how Krishna is affected? By chanting Krishna's name, we become liberated, we become free from this. So how Krishna can become? How it is possible? So even logically, it is not possible. So that way it is explained here. The devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by material qualities. Similarly, devotees are not influenced, or another way, sometimes it is said, how when the devotees are not affected, how is it possible for Krishna to get affected? The simple and delicate women truly thought that Lord Sri Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. They were unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband, as the atheists were unaware of him as a supreme controller. This is the Yoga Maya. So we are under Mahamaya. Under Mahamaya, we do not understand the Lord. Similarly, the pure devotees of the Lord, they come under something called Yoga Maya. So because of that, sometimes they think Krishna is attached to me like ordinary husband. Ordinary husband means Krishna is so much. So they may feel like that, the queens. That is under Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya. So because Krishna wants to relish, wants to give that ecstasy to them. So Krishna makes them forget his position like that, his supreme position like that. So they may feel like that Krishna is attached to them like that. So they are not aware of the extent of the glories because the Yoga Maya influence. Not under Mahamaya. So under Mahamaya, we are totally unaware. Totally unaware. Atheists are completely unaware of him as a supreme controller. Okay, thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwaraka. Okay, so anybody has anything? Anybody they want to comment and to discuss? So mainly this chapter, we were discussing Krishna's arrival in Dwaraka, and today's portion was primarily how he reciprocated with each and everyone, even up to the Chandalas. So Krishna reciprocated with everyone by his glancing, by his smiles, by his embracing, by his shaking hands, different ways. Krishna reciprocated, or giving back some gift. So some way, different ways. And then Krishna entered first of all the father's Vasudeva's palace. Then the way he reciprocated to his stepmothers out of great respect, great love, and then they entered his own personal palaces and all the queens reciprocated. So here we get some hint about Krishna's dealing with the queens. So more details in the 10th canto. 10th canto is a detail. So for first canto itself, we have some introduction, some brief here. So they're all part of the internal potency. They're not part of the material external potency. So their dealings are all transcendental. And some descriptions we had about the Lord's superhuman beauty, Krishna. That is also we heard today. Okay, there was this presentation. I didn't go through this. The key lessons. Okay. Okay, this we read. Law of satiation. We read this. Text 24 to 27. Key lessons. Dealings with women. Spiritual versus material beauty. Somebody can read this. Dot dealing with the queens.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read? The spiritual relation with the Lord. The spiritual relation with the Lord is so enlivening and resourceful that no one can leave the company of the Lord, once having taken shelter of him. The women amongst whom he lived and their husband are not therefore women of this mundane world, but are eternally related with him as transcendental position which they take. That is their competency. His wives therefore appear like mundane women, but factually they are all transcendental liberated souls, perfect means manifestations of internal energy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. You can continue, Mataji.
Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Ited Ishan Ishasya. Lord's divinity, matter becomes purified when it comes in contact with spiritual. Then what to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? By the Leela Shakti of the Lord, the queens had forgotten upon the supremacy of the Lord. In other words, even the personal associates of the Lord do not know him perfectly well. So, what do the thesis writers of mental speculators know about the transcendental glories of the Lord? The mental speculators present different the thesis as to his becoming the cause of the creation, the ingredients of the creation, or the material and efficient causes of the creation, etc. But all this is but partial knowledge about the Lord. Factually, as they are as ignorant as the common man. The Lord can be known by the mercy of the Lord only, and no other means. But since the dealings of the Lord with his wives are based on pure transcendental love and devotion, wives are on the transcendental plane without material contamination. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji. If there is nothing, I will leave, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, there's no other questions in the chat. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavane